Let's get into it. We got some wings. No intro. Some people ain't liking the no intro, man, but it just gets me in my mood real quick. So look at this. Y'all see this? We got some wings. We got some mac and cheese. Let me break this down. We also got some collard greens. Let me just lift that up and just show you underneath that wing. Can y'all get in there? There we go. So this and this is my food for the day, along with this and this extra. No, I'm not done. And most of this carton. Let me show you how. So these right here are pecan smoked wings. They are from Walmart. If you've never had these before, they are absolutely delicious. It costs $10 for a giant container or a big pack of this. I only used about, I want to say a little under half of it. So I have 12 wings. There's 10 here and then 2 over there. Show you this. These are fire, bro. Fire. The wood fire pecan smoke taste in this, or pecan, is delicious. 30 minutes in my air fryer. Another 5 on broiled just to make them a little bit crispier. Also got some mac and cheese. Let me break this down. Now, this is something I cook at home that's more for fat loss, so it's not going to be like traditional mac and cheese. So if you're looking for traditional mac and cheese, you probably want to go a different direction. But let me just tell you, I use protein pasta, Barilla protein pasta. I have an entire container of it, as you can see. So that's this much more on top of that. I added 200 grams of queso after I was done, a can of Rotel, seasoned it up, and then I added about 150 grams of fat-free cheese, stirred that up and let it cook off on the oven. You can bake it, but I do this when I'm at home because I'm kind of in a rush. The greens are super simple. All you're doing with the greens is they're canned Glory greens. If anybody knows the brand, I'm just going to say the brand. Normally I don't, but I just add a little vinegar, a little seasoning, a little hot sauce, and that's what's underneath. And this, all this food right here, plus that food over here, and this over here, with these over here, is still under 3,000 calories. For example, if you go to Cheesecake Factory and get one entree, it's usually somewhere over 3,000 calories, not including the drinks or appetizers or anything else. Some of the highest stuff in the game. When you go there, you'll probably eat more calories than that. But this is what I do when I'm kind of just low-key and I want something like this. Again, egg whites, I usually use chicken breast, but I'm using egg whites today because I'm just tired. But let me go in and get some of this. This is what I used to do. I used to put cheeseburger or like ground beef in this, and I would make, there you go, like a hamburger helper kind of thing too. I don't add a ton of seasoning in this one because the Rotel has all like the peppers and stuff. Just a little bit of garlic. Not too much. Don't go crazy with seasoning on mac and cheese in my opinion. And then we go in. I can pick up both of these because I'm eating them on both today. We go in for the greens. I've gotten collard greens from the store. Like, I mean literally from like restaurants that don't taste as good as this. You just gotta season them right. Are they as good as like doing them yourself? No, but again, this is more of a like long day at work kind of meal. Total cook time and prep time. If you throw the fryer in, by the time your wings are done, this will all be done. And that includes boiling everything. So there's a container over here, I promise. A little bit of my favorite hot sauce for the wings. That slap yo mama. But there we go. Look at this. $10 for that big thing of wings. You just air fry them. Now they're raw, so make sure you cook them all the way. But my goodness. I know this is like not normal content that I do, but I was really in the mood for these wings. I'm gonna be honest with you. Y'all love these flats, I don't. But I'm still gonna work with them. Come back here. Hold on now. Let me just do this now. As far as frozen wings go, these are still my favorite of any kind. They're rarely in the stores. I would check on like Walmart.com or like the app, but I saw it on the app. I didn't even go get it. I just had them send it to my house right away. Mixy mix. And this is the crazy part. Most people wouldn't be able to eat this. Like, if you had all this food throughout the day, plus all the egg whites, again, we can also use chicken or any kind of lean meat, and it'll probably still fit under 3,000 calories. And just so you know, I'm not joking. See that right on the top? So, that's my calories for the day. I try to keep under 3,000, so I wouldn't look at that number. But, right there, and that includes 33 tablespoons of liquid egg whites. I know I don't give this information out a lot. Most people don't really care, but it's such a common question. Like, how come you're not overweight, and, you know, things like that? If this was something that I was eating just to test, this would be the end result of what I would have at the end. But usually, I just have the egg whites and the broccoli because the food that I'm eating is much higher in fat. But hopefully people get the idea. I had to put my egg whites back, and I grabbed me a quick little Canada Dry. I don't even know what flavor this is. What we got? Pomegranate cherry. But for those who ask why I don't drink regular soda, that's why. Because the calories all add up. And if I drank regular soda, or I didn't drink this container of like sugar-free, it would be way more calories. Rule number one when it comes to this kind of stuff, and that's the last time I'm gonna talk about it today. If people have more questions, like, you can always hop on a stream. I do on Twitch, but most people don't really care about this topic, so I'm not gonna go crazy on it. But one big rule, don't drink your calories. Do not drink your calories. It's so important. But I have a announcement, / I guess maybe this is good news for some people. It's been covered by a couple of news outlets now, and this has to do with food. We're keeping with food today. McDonald's, which I have been personally, along with other companies, highly critical of recently. I just think they charge way too much for what their target demographic is supposed to be. Like normal people, you know? And they came out with some news today that they intend to come out with a meal deal, which I guess is kind of similar to Wendy's in my opinion. I don't know why they didn't do this in the first place, but they're coming out with a $5 meal deal, which I still, when I break this down for you, I don't think it's good enough. Like, I'm about to just apply more pressure. But what it consists of is either a McDouble or a McChicken, fries, and a drink. And it'll be $5. Wendy's has a 4 for $4. A little more fair, in my opinion. But I'm just, as a person who does food reviews / I don't just do food reviews, but food-centric content, I guess. I'm very happy. It's not good enough, in my opinion, but it's a step in the right direction. And at least you know they're hearing us. Because if you might be your first video seeing me, I'm not sure if it is. Thank you. I really appreciate you listening to me just run my mouth. But for the last 2 years especially, I've been really critical of these places because I think they're overcharging like crazy. Now, some people are saying more it's like an inflation thing, but it's not. They wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for inflation. Inflation does count for certain things, but not to the height that they've been doing it. I've also noticed recently something called shrinkflation, which has been coined. But I've been pointing it out for like a year, almost with my friends and stuff. I'm like, do you feel like there's less food in this? Like the chip bags, especially frozen goods, packaged goods especially, they are, instead of lowering the price, they're keeping the price the same. Or slightly increasing it and giving you less food. And I've noticed that with, like I said, the one thing I noticed was like a bag of chicken. This bag is $10, but the same bag I bought 2 years ago had more chicken in it. It's not crazy amount of a difference. And I wish I saved the screenshot of the old bag, but the actual ounces, it's not the same amount. So, again, because I'm old enough, I remember when all of that food that I just said would have come out to $3 and change. It used to be called a dollar menu. They slowly switched it to the value menu. And then the McChicken went from $1 to $1.09 to $1.39 to $1.59 to $2.19. The last time I looked, and I looked today, a McChicken costs, I couldn't believe this, $3.40. No. At that point, which is why I've kind of been saying recently, you might as well go to Chili's. And Chili's, to their credit, a Big Mac meal at McDonald's, I looked this up again, medium, not large, comes out to $11. You get a Big Mac, you get a medium fry, you get a medium soda. And I said this before, if you go to Chili's, you can get a much bigger burger. Their burger, the patty is much bigger. And they have something equivalent of a Big Mac called a Big Smasher, which has like Big Mac sauce on it. Order fries, a drink, chips, and salsa for $10.99. And again, if you don't go sit down and eat it, you can just pick it up and go home, same way you would at a McDonald's. So, they have a better deal right now. Other companies are starting to do that, and I've noticed recently that McDonald's, they must be feeling the heat because they wouldn't change it unless enough people or their bottom line was hit. Recently, according to the same reports, their bottom line was hit. That's why sometimes I watch these, or I read the comments and people say, why are you complaining about prices? That's why. I don't know if people think I'm rich. I'm not. I'm just like everybody else. I don't want to feel like I'm ripped off. Especially at a place like McDonald's, which their entire target audience from its inception until recently was going to get something that was quick, it was reliable, and it was cheap. That was the entire point. Somewhere along the lines, they switched to this quick service, excuse my language because this drives me nuts, I'm passionate about this, quick service bullshit that you're fast food. Like, stop trying to be gourmet. And one thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, still with this article, I read the whole thing, is that they said they want to make something accessible to their lower income customers. That almost made me not want to go. And if you've noticed on this channel, I haven't done McDonald's hardly. I've done it way less than all the other fast food places. And even the new stuff they roll out, they had a new chicken sandwich, I haven't reviewed it because I don't want to. I'm not telling anybody to boycott. If you like McDonald's, go eat it. If you have reasons you don't want to, don't eat it. But it's gone too far with them. And I'm glad that they're at least feeling the heat enough to trial something. But if their sales don't go up, they're going to do something more. Because when you hit people where it hurts, it's their money. And in the same breath, another place that I've been critical about, this is all the news I've gotten today, and I really wanted to talk about this. Chipotle is now, which a lot of people, myself included, have been saying for years, feeling the heat because it's gone even more viral. A lot more people have picked up on this that have a platform, that have gone there, ordered food, and noticed that when you order chicken or steak or whatever, you get barely any meat. You get barely any proteins. You get barely any food for what it used to be. I've been eating at Chipotle for over a decade. Recently, I've been eating a lot less. And if you watch this channel, you know that I've been pretty critical about it. Is the food bad? Sometimes. It was never bad, but it's bad sometimes. Sometimes it hits, I won't lie about that. I've gotten it recently and it was good. I paid $30 for that food, and it still was way less than what it used to be. Which I said in that video. So, their prices, I remember when burritos bowls were under $10. This wasn't that long ago. It was like a decade ago. Early 2010s. Now that same bowl is about $15. You get way less food. The food is of way worse quality. And in order to get even an adequate amount, not above and beyond, an adequate amount, like just a normal amount size of chicken, you have to ask for double meat, double rice, double cheese. You have to ask for double everything to the point that for people to get a decent burrito bowl at Chipotle, it costs like $25. And that ain't good enough for me. So, even though My demographic, and what I mean, my analytics, my content, is definitely more skewed people. The proof stays from, if you're watching this video, you are like what I would call my core audience, and I love y'all, I appreciate y'all because y'all are listening to this, but the majority of people that watch my videos really only care about chain restaurants. Those are the videos that do the best. You look at my last 10 days, I can tell you in the last 10 days, because I look at my analytics, I don't look at numbers, but just what videos people want to see, because it shows you how it did out of 10. Pizza Hut, Popeyes, Jollibee, of course, I love me some Jollibee, Wingstop, Papa John's. Those are the things that, and I don't have a problem with that. These are not things that I ate normally. I eat way more now than I ever did, but I still try to be as honest as possible when it comes to, is it a good deal or not? And some of these places are almost astronomically ridiculous because the quality of food does not match the prices that they're paying. Y'all know I've been outspoken about Subway about this for the same reason. No me gusta. So I'm glad that they're starting to feel the pressure. The more that you guys comment under videos like mine and other creators about things like this, the more they'll see it. I've told you this before. I've worked with some brands in the fast food industry. I know that they watch my videos. Not just me, but other creators as well. I'm not saying that like I'm special. Any food creator, regardless of size. Now, obviously, if you're a larger creator, they're more likely to watch your video. But anytime you tag Popeyes, you tag Chili's, you tag whatever, they watch the videos. People can say whatever they want about me, but when it comes to franchise restaurants, I am usually more critical if it's a bad deal or if it's not good. Even though I will tell you if it's a good deal or if I like it, or I might tell you franchises matter, I still am honest and I don't just hand out, tens or... I know some people may not see that because you don't watch all my content, but I'm going to give you an example. I said this in the Popeyes video. I have worked with Popeyes before. The reason I'm telling you this is because when you're outspoken about brands, they don't like it. On the back channels, they will talk to my manager and be like, well, I don't know if y'all don't know this, but I stick my neck out to tell y'all the truth all the time. I have been asked by multiple brands to take my videos down. I promise you. And I've said no every time. I'm not going to lie. And I'm going to tell people the truth. This wasn't Popeyes, by the way, but I'm going to tell you a story about Popeyes recently because it's public information. When I spoke out about that sandwich and I said it wasn't very good, I actually said it was the worst thing they ever put out. I said in the video, and I quote, "This is the weakest sauce that they've had out yet." I said it. I could have been hurting myself. Will they do another brand deal with me? I hope so, because I love that restaurant, but I'm not going to lie to y'all for the sake of money. Can't be me. You look at my Instagram right now. You think I'm joking? I pinned the comment. Popeyes' own account commented, "Come on, bruh," on my video. Now, I laugh because I think it's funny, but I'm not going to change it. I'm just telling y'all the truth. I don't like it. Doesn't mean you can't like it. I'm just telling you my take. But the reason I'm telling you this is because I want you to know that your voices are being heard. And the more you comment on these things, the more we can actually get change. I know some people look at this and they say, oh, well, it's your job to review food. True. I've never hidden that fact. Food is a business expense for me. But that doesn't mean that I'm still not a person. I'm not rich. I don't want to be ripped off like anybody else. I don't care what the expense is for. I still don't want to be ripped off. And I'm not just speaking on behalf of myself when I say that. The food industry has gotten ridiculously, especially franchises, out of hand. Now, I'm not here to talk economics to anybody. But I just know this as a person who's owned a business for almost a decade now. And a person who's gotten to know many business owners. When their bottom line is affected, there's two things that they're going to do. Number one, they're going to do something to fix it. Should be number two, but that is one thing they'll do. Whether that be dropping their prices, whether that be trying to put promotions out, etc. That's one thing they're going to do. But a lot of people that run these corporations are incredibly greedy. And what they will do instead is they will cut costs every other way that possible to keep their bottom line the same. What I mean when I say that is, if something costs $5 to produce, I'm trying to give round numbers, and I sell it for $10, again, minus expenses, etc. I'm talking total cost, expenses to make, to distribute, etc. It costs me $5 a unit. If I sell it for $10 a unit, I have a $5 profit. I have to sell X amount to make X amount of money. So if I sold 10 units, I have $100, but I made 50 in profit. So if I know I need to keep that same $50 profit and I can't get 10 people anymore, what I will do instead is I will up my price to $13 and I will sell it to half the people to keep my profits the same. And that's what they do. At the same time, what they'll also do is cut it this way, meaning they'll try to reduce the cost. Hey, can we get this down to $4 a unit? Can we get this down to $3.72 a unit? And that's what they're doing. It has nothing to do with to me, what they're doing is because they need to go on one more yacht trip a year, they're making sure their money stays the same. At the very least, to keep those shareholders happy, that's how they do it. That's what they're doing. I'm not okay with that. One less yacht trip so somebody can get a damn burger for cheaper, please do it. Any corporation, anybody who hears this stuff, do it. That's what a lot of these places do. They don't care about anything else but their bottom line. But it made me happy today because it's not me, not just creators, but everybody, the people. We are the ones that can make a change, and we did it as a start. What happens next is up to us. But I wanted to talk about that because, again, y'all know I be yelling about these prices and stuff all the time. And when I saw that, I said, at least they hear it now. You know what I'm saying? Again, this isn't an angry thing. I just think at the end of the day, we're the consumers. We are the consumers. We keep these people in business. Bad business practices shouldn't be encouraged. And again, I've told you this before. Any brand that I've ever been able to talk to, I tell them everything that I'm saying on camera to you guys right now. I am not that type of person. You can't buy me. If I agree with something you're doing, I'm with it. If not, I just wanted to say that stuff. This food was delicious. I actually got way more food because I was talking too much. But that's gonna be the end of the video, man. I have so much food, it's crazy, right? But I want to talk about that today and show y'all this food. And please, keep applying pressure. And we'll be back tomorrow. More content, man. The hand signs, they made it to YouTube.